nila to come here. Okay. So Taglish ang gagawin natin, no? Anyway, he can read what's here, no? Okay. This lecture was given before a group of doctors that are into or open to alternative medicine. So some of them were open, some of them didn't like it. So since wala namang medical doctor dito, no? Meron ba? Meron? Okay, dentist. Okay. So, first of all, you have to know the history of medicine. Excuse me. Mga sa ospital. Tell me I'm not supposed to give my numbers to patients. Too late. So, to know why the medical field came about, kailangan alam natin history. So, we'll just pass through history a little bit. Okay. Well, first of all, health is not just the absence of disease. It is the interplay of the physical, the mental, and emotional or social well-being of a person. No? But it also includes the spiritual aspect. So according to the United Nations World Health Organization, it is a universal wellness of physical, emotional, mental, and we include the spiritual aspect. So health. Ngayon, disease is defined as a lack of health. So disease comes from the word dis-ease or discomfort. When the body develops some signs and symptoms, it's the body trying to tell you something. Kumbaga, nag-warning siya, oh, you're having high blood pressure kasi mataas ang cholesterol mo, under stress ka, overwork, wala kang masyadong relaxation phase. No? So, ang approach ng medicine ay i-counteract lang yung nararamdaman mo, pero hindi yung pinagmulan, yung cause ng sakit. Nag-high blood ka, bigyan ka ng pampababa ng presyon. Bakit ka nag-high blood? Ay kasi mataas ang kolesterol. Bigyan ka ng pampababa ng kolesterol. Bakit ka nagpataas ang kolesterol? Kasi sa diet. Very rarely do the doctors tell you ito yung talagang diet mo. Sabi niya, oh, mag-healthy diet ka. Pero pag tinanong mo yung doktor, the doctor does not have that much training in nutrition. So hindi po tinuro masyado. Kaya, so disease is nothing more than the body is responding to the wrong we have done to it. Attempt ito ng katawan natin to cope as a response to the wrongs we have inflicted on our body. Yung mga sira na nakikita is because of what we have done to our body. Sabi nga ng isang inspirational writer, disease does not come without a cause. Actually sa Bible sabi, a curse causeless shall not come. Disease does not come without a cause. The disease is invited and the way is prepared. Kaya pumupunta yung disease. Yan. So, sa medicine, up to the time of Garden of Eden until the 15th century, doctors were treating patients using herbs, diet, nutrition, and other things. So of course, may mga kalokohan silang ginagawa. Sometimes they use dust from mummies, no? Maybe bat dung, or so they have weird stuff that they're using. Each medical or physician, or surgeon, or chemist would develop or invent their own thing. So that's what they're doing. However, in the 1560s, there was a doctor named Paracelsus, and he decided na he will make a different way of treatment. Huwag na yung herb. Paracelsus is a proponent of alchemy. He is a researcher on turning ordinary metal into gold. He also studied, before that he was also working in a mining place, no? Mga minero. And he noticed that using chemicals, you can bring out gold, you can bring out all these other things. So he decided he will use that technique for human consumption. Paracelsus became the father of pharmacology. Now, in Chinese or Oriental medicine, ang paniniwala, merong energy or life force in the body. Now, it has a negative or positive side. So when they treat people, they treat it as if they want the energy to flow better. So they do acupuncture, they do herbal therapy, they do diet therapy. So may iba-ibang paraan silang pag-approach. Along comes Paracelsus and say, no, will use other things. Now, when you look at medical books, then and now, nabago po yung concept. They began to look at people just as a physical part. So, ang nangyari, ang paniniwala sa medical books, wala yung spiritual aspect. Ang paniniwala, evolution. Man evolved. Yan. So, when you think about men evolving, kung nagluluko yung tonsils mo, tanggalin. No? Kasi you're just an animal. You can experiment on an animal. Man is an animal. You can tinker, you can improve, you can make him a cyborg, an android, o kung naman. Kasi yun yung iniisip nila. So, remove and replace with something better. So, history of medicine, Hippocrates, before Christ was known as the father of medicine, he believed in natural healing and left many things to the effort of nature. Sabi niya, let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. So, yun yung pananaw niya. Pero si Paracelsus, binago niya yun. So, Hippocrates insisted that nature can heal the body and the physician was only nature's helper. Actually, the word physician means teacher. Ang trabaho po talaga ng physician is to teach people how to be healthy. It comes from the word doctus, meaning teacher. Guru, no? Guru o teacher. Now, doctors are not teacher anymore. They are now drug pushers. No? Glorified drug pushers. So, ano mga treatment na ginagawa niya para maibalik yung normal balance ng pasyente? Use herbs, diet, fresh air, and that's the same thing we're doing still sa mga alternative practitioner. Of course, we are using the Hippocratic Oath na ginamit niya, na siyang oath na oath of allegiance or oath that doctors are supposed to say or do before they go into practice. Yung oath-taking na tinatawag natin. Now, ang nurses, meron sila yung Florence Nightingale Pledge. So, yun po, maganda rin yun. Pero sa aming doktor, we have what we call the Hippocratic Oath. Now, kung maiisip niyo po yung philosophy sa medicine, una, ang medical books namin does not believe in God. It only says evolution. May question ka na agad doon. Diba? Maghanap kayo ng medical books if it does anything to say about spirituality, about God. There is no such thing in our medical books. So, and then, yung Hippocratic Oath would be like this, no? Sabi dito, I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous and will give no deadly medicine to anyone if asked. Hindi raw magbibigay ng gamot na makasasama sa katawan. But you look at 80 to 90% of the drugs in the pharmacy, they always have a deleterious effect. They always have something that is not. Well, for us medical doctors, for emergency, gagamit kami, we will use something for the immediate results. Pero remember, people are now being given medications that are not just for temporary thing. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Imagine mo yung effect nun. Okay. But this was the oath, huh? I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. I will give no deadly medicine to anyone if asked, nor suggest any such counsel. Pero notice this oath. Di ba pag nag-oath ka, you put your hand on the King James Version in the Bible, sa US, no? Yeah, sometimes they say, what's the King James Version? They don't know, no? King James Version, no? But here is the first part of the Hippocratic Oath. I swear by Apollo, the physician, and Aesculapius, and health and all heal, and all the gods and goddesses, that according to my ability, I will keep this oath. So, you know, this is not a Christian oath. I hear many Christian doctors that are very much against reflexology, acupuncture, and this kind of thing, kasi daw hindi daw Christian yun. And yet, ang history ng medicine, una-una, our books are evolutionistic in concept. Pangalawa, yung Hippocratic Oath is not a Christian oath. Christian oath pa siya? I swear by Apollo. Apollo is the Greek physician, Greek god of medicine, no? And Aesculapius, this is the Chaldean god of medicine. So for those who are Christians, the Chaldeans are proponent of magic and sorcery, no? What else? Notice this symbol, itong ahas na to, no? This is called the staff of Aesculapius. Aesculapius is the god of healing and fertility. The word Aesculapius, and this is the logo of medicine, comes from three words, no? Ashe means snake, skull means teach, pius means man. The snake that taught man. For Christians, who do you think that is? Yes, oh no. Hindi natin alam yan. Huh? So Apollo was the two-horned god of the Greek philosophy. Another one is Aesculapius and also Chaldean mythology. Does that make you realize something out there? Huh? For serious Christians, you will realize, bakit ganun? Huh? This is not the snake in the wilderness. Huh? For those who read their Bible, this is you. Yeah. Okay, so how come the medicine today did not follow the principle of the father of medicine who practiced natural healing is supposed to be the father of medicine? Ito si Hohenheim. He's called Paracelsus and he started inventing minerals to use to cure disease. Hanggang sa ngayon, they're doing that. Bakit? Kasi it can be patent. Yeah. So Hohenheim becomes dissatisfied with teaching his fathers and teachers, so he studied chemistry, metallurgy, and applied it to medicine. So you can research that, no? Okay, he became a medical reformer, introduced a new concept of disease. Kaya doon dumating ang karamdaman, one day you're walking around, this bacteria came and attacked you. You know, the bacteria are there. Bumagsak yung immune system mo, kaya ka nagkasakit. Okay. So it was a very controversial thing, and then he was dismissed from the University of Basel, but he continued, and hundreds of people took up the same thing. At the same time, in a book, World Without Cancer, by, I forgot his first name, Griffin, he revealed that yung number one drug cartel in the world, the number one pharmaceutical company in the world, which is Farben International, had links with the German army during World War II. And Rockefeller linked his financial empire with that company. And what happened was, Rockefeller gave $500 million to medical schools to revamp their medical education sa US. There were 160 plus medical schools during the Rockefeller's time. So there was a Flexner report, si Abraham Flexner, isang medical doctor, nag-research sa mga medical school. They said it is substandard. Nagbigay siya ng recommendation like surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, not too much on nutrition. And out of 160 plus medical school, only 60 medical schools remain. Yung 60 medical schools na yon were given $500 million by the Rockefeller Foundation to change and revamp their curriculum. So within 20 years, na iba yung curriculum ng medicine. Prior to that, doctors were creating their own herbs, their own medication, kasi they know how to do it. Immediately after that, it changed. Rockefeller also was bankrolling the Medical Association and the Food and Drug Administration. So lumabas po yan. You check the internet, there is something called the drug story or the history of the pharma industry in the United States. Yeah. I.G. Farben became the father of all the drug company in the world, and from there it was found out na the Rockefeller industry was the one in the guise of philanthropy was able to control the medical schools. And of course, if you create the system, then you produce the product, then everyone else will follow. Yun po yung history. It's a very long book, no? But you may want to read up on that. Nasa internet po yun. World Without Cancer and the drug story. The pharmaceutical company thing. This gave birth to the conventional medical care system we know today, which is based on prescription drugs and know little or to nothing about basic nutrition. Now they teach the students everything there is to know about their product, which is drugs, and so doctors come as highly trained drug salesmen and we don't even know it. Kasi we have been brainwashed to think, ito yung sakit, ito yung gamot. Ito yung sakit. Tanong mo, how to become healthy? The doctors don't know. Although it's changing, Now 160 medical schools in the US, including nutrition and massage and even prayer therapy. Kasi nakita nila, if you can beat them, you join them. No? The alternative medicine program is getting more and more in the States. So yun po yung Flexner report, Dr. Alexander Flexner. Anyway, so the FDA, the American Medical Association became very, very strong and powerful. In the Philippines, the Philippine Medical Association is not as powerful as in the United States. Kasi sa US, the American Medical Association dictates sa medical school, nagdidictate sila sa hospital, sa clinics, sila yung overall powerful group. Sa Pilipinas, the PMA is just like a club. So you can join if you want or not. No? You don't dictate. If I'm a doctor and what I'm doing is what I feel is right, they will not dictate unless you really kill someone or harm someone. So the doctors still have a certain amount of freedom. Plus, meron po tayong Republica 8423 or 24, no? With which every Filipino has the right to endorse and use natural healing. So, tayo lang po ang may bansa. We're the only country with that freedom, that law. So imagine mo yung potential doon na our country can become a refuge for people looking for natural healing. Imagine mo yun, no? We're the only country with that law. So, and that's the Flexner report. Abraham Flexner did a survey of medical school and so on. Now we go to the Dean of the Harvard Medical School, Dr. David Edsall. Sabi niya, I was for a period a professor of therapeutics and pharma. I knew from experience students were obliged by me and others to learn about countless number of drugs, many of which were valueless, many of them useless, some even harmful. Kaunti daw intellectual freedom in a medical course compared to other scientific course. You know, in engineering, the more inventive you are, the better, no? But in medicine, no, you cannot invent, you cannot work outside the box. No? You cannot think outside the box. It should be this way and this way alone. So the doctors were like zombies. No? Ito lang, this is the only way. Anything outside this box is quackery. Yan. So sabi ni, ito, I think I showed it to you before, so we'll go very fast, no? What happened? Ayan na. Well, Dr. Flavier, former DOH head, no? And also senator, half the drugs sold in the country are only for temporary relief and do not cure the disease that they're trying to treat. No? 70% of medicines sold are either non-essential or undesirable. So, galit sila sa kanya. No? As a DOH head, he was very effective. As a senator, the only redeeming thing he did was create that law, Republica 8424. But after that, nothing happened after that. No? It doesn't have teeth. You may have the law, but theoretically, PhilHealth should pay for it kasi merong law. And insurance should pay for it kasi there's a law. But so far, the only insurance company I think that caters to alternative medicine is Blue Shield. And I think other insurance companies do not pay for alternative medicine. Then, findings of a Health Action International, sabi nila, a lot of drugs in other countries banned are being dumped in third world countries, including the Philippines. Then, 3 allergy medications, Hismanal, Claritin, and Itrax has been known to cause cancer in animals. Yeah. Yes. Hismanal, Claritin, and Itrax has been known to cause and speed up cancer in animals. Yes. And drug companies do not give doctors complete information. So, you know, in med school, fourth year medical students are given every week by med reps samples and freebies. No? They come to us every weekend and they tell us, "Oh, doc, we have this nice medication, you know, very little side effect," and they give us information and said, "You help us, we help you." And every week we go home with 2 big bags of giveaways. If it's Christmas, you get very nice giveaways. If it's Valentine's Day, and so on. Once you have graduated as a post-grad intern, they're given the same thing. Then when you're a resident for 4 years, they give you the same thing. Then you're a specialist, they give more freebies. If you're a cancer specialist, you get trip abroad. Okay, that big. Huh? And so the drug industry woo the doctors. And they have to have a male and female med reps. If the doctor is a male, then the lovely med rep would come, no? And talk to him and sort of, you know, make beso-beso, no? Same thing with the guys or the gays, whichever, no? So they use their charm, their beauty. And the one that comes to you most and is very gallant, no? Generous, they're the company you patronize. So iniisip lang ng doctor, hindi naman siguro papasa ng BIFA dyan, ng FDA yan, kung hindi safe.
Wow.
So, but then, the findings showed that doctors and consumers are given incomplete information. So the doctor will just say, "Oh yeah, it has maybe 10 side effects, but actually there's 20 or 30 side effects." And one example is Peractin Vita, which is an appetite stimulant. Originally, it was an antihistaminic medication, anti-allergy. And when they gave that medicine, na-notice na appetite stimulator. So they changed, benta natin. Like minoxidil, no? Minoxidil is for high blood pressure. They noticed nagkakaroon na increased hair growth. So now they're applying it externally, internally. Pero effect nun sa blood pressure mo, your BP may go down. Yan. So, as early as 1971, alam na may side effect na hindi maganda yung Peractin. They waited until it's 1980s, saka lang sila winner sa market in the US. In the Philippines, still being sold today. And then, according to USA Today, 54% of the expert of the FDA that approve or disapprove a drug have been paid by the company that they're screening. Yeah. And this is from USA Today. Okay, so kaya one time, an FDA chief was in trouble in Congress kasi yung nauna sa kanya na FDA chief, pinalusot yung isang antibiotic called Ketek, which has been shown to have really severe side effect. May namatay. So now the Congress was trying to find out what happened. Tinatakpan niya yung issue. So they're now after him kasi he was covering up his superior. He's the guy before him. Okay. In 1970, Dr. Herbert Lay, former head of the FDA, said the following: "The thing that bugs me is that people think the FDA is protecting them. It's not. No. What the FDA is doing, what the public thing is doing, are as different as night and day." From the horse mouth, no? From the mouth of the FDA head. I don't know if that same thing is happening in the Philippines. Okay. So and then presidents, vice presidential candidates, they own tens of millions of dollars in stock in the drug industry. See, the number 2 business in the world today is cancer therapy, chemotherapy, radiation. Number 1 is weapons. Number 3 is oil. Parehong patay. And the owner of the drug industry and the weapon industry are the same people. And they also own the junk food industry, by the way. So there's a text in the Bible, and I forgot the exact area. It says, the merchants of the earth have cursed the inhabitants of the earth with their alchemy. So, but the original word in Greek is not alchemy, but pharmacopoeia.
What verse
So,
is that?
I forgot. You have to look in the internet about it. The merchants of the earth curse the inhabitants of the earth with their pharmacopoeia. The word is alchemy, but you know, the merchants don't do alchemy,
Yeah.
but they do pharmacopoeia, if that's the number 2 business in the world. So, go figure. Huh? Now, US Congress found out na any drugs released, more than half of the new drugs approved for marketing had a severe side effect that they didn't find in the testing phase. So they say, your herb didn't pass through your double-blind study, etc. No? And yet those that did go through it had a severe or fatal side effect. That was not present during the time they were testing it. Aspirin, which is the cheapest and best over-the-counter drug, is associated yearly with hundreds of deaths and thousand side effects. Aldactone, which is a diuretic and flagyl, has been known to cause cancer in animal. Pero the company that produces it gave the FDA fraudulent data. And so these are expose. There's a book named Medical Armageddon by Michael Calvert. You may want to see if you can get a copy of that. It's full of facts and expose. And of course he died. I don't know what happened. No? Then there are 3 leading laboratories that fed the agency, the FDA, false data, or even withheld information. So they say, who's running the FDA? So they tried to find out. But the FDA commissioner says, we don't know. We don't know who did the thing. Okay. Now, these are just examples of common use drugs. Maybe the top 12 commonly used drugs that have been known to have very severe side effects. Steroids, di ba? So it works great short term, no? Pero long term, it causes osteoporosis, bleeding, increased sugar, increased cataract, poor wound healing, weight gain, so many things. Even emotional instability. Methotrexate is used as a chemotherapy. They're using it for rheumatoid arthritis, no? They use in combination with prednisone. This kills every cell in the body. And so ginagamot mo yung pasyente, but you're destroying other cells in the body. Ito yung side effect: fetal death, congenital anomaly, liver and kidney toxicity, bone marrow depression. Actually, most chemotherapy will do the same thing. Intestinal bleeding, ulceration, depress the immune system. and counteracts the vitamin B. Coumadin or warfarin. Coumadin or warfarin is used para mag-thin out yung blood, lalo na after surgery sa heart or na-stroke ka. Bibigay po yan. Coumadin is DORA rat killer. Okay, yan. Binibigay sa daga, nagdudugo yung ilong, yung pagbito ka ng daga, binibigay sa human being. Yan. So, we can understand how thinning blood with rat poison can make anyone better, no? They weaken the blood vessel cell, so bakit ibibigay mo sa to prevent stroke and heart attack? Di lalong mag-bleed to death sila. Yan. Weird, no? Okay, statins, Lipitor, all the pababa ng cholesterol, they've been known to cause damage to the liver, to the brain, causes increased tendency for suicidal tendency, no? It has been known to cause weakness in the heart muscles. So, pinabababa mo nga yung cholesterol mo, pwede ka naman mag-cause ng heart attack. Di ba cute, no? Galing. Okay, ito, statins siya, no? Yung statins, research yan. Okay, yung pabababa ng bile acid sa mga gallstone. Ang side effect niya, constipation, nausea, bloating, and more. And more serious side effects would be bleeding disorders and vision problems and high triglyceride. So, bababa nga siya, magkakaproblema. So, diuretics, pampaihi. Pag umiihi ka, pati potassium mo nawawala, natatanggal. Ataking ka lang, manghihina ka na lang. No? Long-term use depletes the body of vital minerals. Nagbibigay kami ng pababa ng BP. Pag nagbigay ng diuretic, bababa ng BP, pwede kang mag-shock. Okay. This is so extremely dangerous and the specific cause of thousands of deaths per year. Okay. Proscar, ito po ginagamit sa prostate. Pagka malaki ang prostate mo, sa mga lalaki, binibigay po ito. And wait. Almost everyone older than 70 has some cancer cells in his prostate gland. Bibigay ngayon lang ng Proscar. Ang Proscar po ay lalo lang lumalaban yung prostate kasi hormones po yung Proscar, no? Pampababaeng hormones, so nagkakaroon ng dede, no? At nagkakaroon ng effect. So the body will now try to fight that feminine hormone you're giving, lalong lumalala yung problema. O diabetic drugs, no? Mga metformin, mga kung ano-ano, dinadamage po nila yung kidney, dinadamage po nila yung pancreas. And they can lead to lowering sugar severely and even fatigue and liver damage. So increased risk of death from heart attack and blood vessel disease. So ginagamot mo nga yung sugar, pero maaaring mag-cause siya ng heart attack and iba pa mga sakit. Arthritis medication. In 1988, there were about 2 million prescription given for arthritis. Out of 2,200,000 developed side effect, 20,000 died of bleeding ulcer. So malaking porsyento po yun. In 1 year lang yun, 1 year. So binabibigay lang, binabubutas ang tiyan, no? Yan. So binibigay po na yan. And of course, nadi-destroy din yung cartilage lining ng buto. So ginagamot mo yung arthritis pero nadi-destroy lalo yung cartilage lining. Parang weird, no? So what happens then? Then you get knee replacement. Okay. Do you see the business side of that, no? Okay. Cold and flu medication, no? May mga toxicity po yan. Kaya mayroong lumabas doon, pati yung mga Neosel, yung mga iba yung gamot sa sipon, may mga namatay doon, nagtaas ang BP, etc. It's not good, no? Opo, yes. Using these common cold drugs suppresses the immune system, increase the length of time, so mas matagal ang sakit mo. You know, pagka kaya ka nagsisipon, because your body trying to eliminate the mucus and the virus, and sinupress mo. O ano nga, hindi na nakalabas yung mikrobyo, you get sinusitis later on, longer. Inuubo ka, you put antitussive, tumigil yung pag-ubo mo, naipon yung phlegm doon, nagkaroon ka ng pneumonia. O di mas maganda. Okay. Indira Corgard, mga gamot po sa high blood para bumaba. But the beta blockers compromise the function of the heart and you can have a weakened heart. So, pinabababa mo nga yung BP, may effect naman sa heart, ataking ka naman sa puso, no? Pero pa yung sa mga lalaki na loss of libido and impotence, etc. No? And tumataas yung blood cholesterol. So, the bottom line is taking a long-term medication that alters your natural body is dangerous. No? Anything na inumin mong forever o pamatagalan, drugs should not be used, should only be used temporarily, never indefinitely. bibigay ka kasi. Bakit? Bakit ko inumin to? Sabi ko kasi ng doktor. Bakit sinabi ng doktor? Sabi ng libro namin sino ang gumawa ng libro? Yung drug company. Yeah. So para kaming the blind leading the blind, no? All you have to do is change, no? So ito po sa GERD. So usong-uso ngayon ng GERD, no? Yung gastroesophageal reflux kasi bumabalik yung acid, no? So hindi na natin tinatawag na acid peptic disease, GERD na ang tawag na doon, may medyo social. Okay. All you have to do is pag kumain kayo, huwag kang higa na higa and then don't overeat para hindi nagba-backflow. Now they give medication na ang side effect pala, napakaraming problema. That even the Food and Drug Administration issued a warning about this medication. Ano daw, increased risk of bacterial diarrhea, magnesium deficiency, bone fractures. Wow, kinagamot yung GERD mo, fracture naman yung buto mo, no? Parang weird to, no? Antibiotics, yan. Konting sipon, konting ubo, antibiotics yan. Kaya, nagugulat po kami pag makita namin unang sipon ubo. Cephalosporins na agad, yung mga super antibiotic. Now we're getting mga super germs. No? Antibiotic resistance microbes. Ayaw ng talaban ng antibiotic. Nakakatakot na eh. Kaya we're getting all these super bacteria, super things. So hindi dapat ginagamit itong mga ciprofloxacin mga yan ng biglaan. Dumaan ka muna sa mga simpler antibiotics. Pag ang sipon at phlegm mo ay puti or clear, that's not a bacteria, that's a virus. Hindi niya antibiotic yun. It's only when the phlegm or sipon is yellow or green, saka mag-antibiotic dapat. Yan. Hindi tatalaban ng antibacterial yung virus. Yan. Ang virus tutubo lang yan, mawawala. No? Wala kasi may immune system mo. Antipsychotics. Punta kayo sa psychiatric ward, kabi-kabi lang bigay. Sa mga bata, binibigyan Ritalin kasi hyper. Bigay. Hindi naman gumaling. Diba? 10 years na. Psychotic pa rin yung pasyente. No? So, and yung mga psychotic drugs actually can cause dependence on them, increase blood sugar, even change the emotion ng tao. So, addicting pa yun. Hindi ang addict talaga sila. Okay. Mga pain reliever, okay, bigyan na ng mga pain reliever. Ang effect naman ito, nag-destroy siya ng breathing ability, no? Lalo humihina yung paghinga. We have a child, yung galing sa Baguio, she's about 3 or 4 years old, and may brain tumor. Naalis. Because health, ay napadala ulit, napauwi. Tapos, tinira ng, one time nag-seizure siya, binigay siya ng anti-seizure, tsaka pain reliever. Hindi na nagising. Sabi ng doktor, ay, masyadong malakas yung pain reliever, tsaka namatay dahil dun sa pain reliever. It depressed yung kanyang paghinga. Akalungkot, di ba? Nawala yung bukol, no? Pero,
nawala yung cancer niya.
Ay, okay, yan, mga Prozac, mga mga anti-anxiety, no? Pero ang mga antidepressant, no? Pero side effect, GI bleeding, sexual dysfunction, suicidal tendency, nakakalungkot. Ginagamot ng depression kuno, pero nagdadagdag ka ng mga bagay na nakaka-depress. Okay. Most of these drugs prescribed for depression are not only harmful but highly addictive. No? Tulad Prozac, no? It's used by 6 million Americans, 12 million worldwide. Of all the drugs to cause you, this is one of the most terrifying kasi ang side effects are more serious than addiction. No? So marami siyang side effect. No? Meron tinatawag na I don't give a damn attitude. Kaya sabi ng isang patient namin when I was in Colorado, when she's on Prozac, she would tell the doctor what she felt about him. No? You are a SOB, etc. Walang inhibition. Talagang they don't give a damn. So, you know, Ritalin, they're using it for kids kasi hyper sila. It really lowers their IQ. It dumbs them out. No? Makes them addicted to Ritalin. So, ayan. Even the FDA is issuing warning on antidepressant, possibly suicide, depression, it's in children and adults. So, mismo sila nagbibigay. So, these are example po, no? Sabi ng FDA, hindi namin alam kung talagang ito nga ang nagbabago ng behavior nila. Pero we're telling physician families to be aware of this. At pag lumabas yun, get the treatment right away. Anyway, so, ano ba ang pinagkaiba ng drug sa herbal medicine? It takes billions of dollars to create synthetic, patented chemical. And then they test it on animals, no? Then human testing. hoping na yung nagangyari sa animal will also work on human beings. But they don't just give one medicine at a time. Ha? Pag may high blood ka, they have an blood thinner, they have a blood cholesterol lowering effect, they have a blood pressure maintenance and blood pressure for emergency and so on. Halo-halo lahat po yun. Imagine what the effect of those medications together will do in your human body. Yan. Whereas yung herbs, grown by nature, then you use for thousands of years, di ba? You cannot improve on God. Di ba? Yan. So, these are the facts. Well, nadaanan na po natin yan before. But basically, in Journal American Medical Association for the newbies, yung mga bagong dating, number 1 cause of death was heart disease. Number 2 was cancer yata. Yeah. Number 3 was diabetes. Number 4, medically induced death. From the drugs, from the doctor, surgery, etc. This was 1998, no? April 15th. And then, in the same magazine, on July 2000, number 1 cause of death was heart disease. Number 2 was cancer. Number 3, medically induced death. Okay. But in July 2003, ewan ko kung na dito, 2,000 yung namatay, hindi naman dapat inoperahan. 7,000 died of medication errors, infections, 80,000 dead that year. Namatay sa side effect, tama yung gamot, 106,000 dead in that year. So, what happened? Okay. So, 7.5 million people dying. Ayun na, nangyari dito. Naghang. Ano to? Okay. So, however, in October 8, 2003, and others are not surprised, no? The number 1 cause of death was medically induced death. Okay. That's 783,936 death. Ang sabi na ito lang yung tip of the iceberg, pero pa daw hindi na-report. 10% lang daw yan na reported cases. Kasi ang mga doktor naman, hindi naman magsusumbong tapos sa nagawang pagkakamali ng kapwa-doktor. It's a fraternity, no? So even the medical field, yung mga nurses, hindi naman sila magsusumbong about the doctor's mistakes. And I think I told you before, no? Ang turo sa amin sa medical school, you have to learn how to defend your findings. Maski mali yung diagnosis mo, kailangan you can defend it even on when you're asleep. So yun ang turo sa amin. Anyway, there is room for both alternative and conventional medicine in practice. Pang-emergency kasi yung medical. No? So let's use it for emergency diagnosis. But in long-term use, we don't like that. Lalo na if the disease is caused by lifestyle. Ang i-maintain mo yung lifestyle. Ang i-maintain mo yung nutrition, not poison. Now, if the medicine is going to affect your liver, your kidney, etc., better use it a short time kasi yung long-term use niya, magda-damage nga nun definitely. So, hindi ang i-maintain yung mga drugs. May-maintain mo lifestyle, may-maintain mo nutrition, may-maintain mo exercise, may-maintain mo yung stress, ability to cope with stress. Otherwise, sasaluhin mo lahat yung mga side effect ng gamot na tinitake mo. So, why are we studying this? Well, we're into nutrition, that's why we have Life Enzyme, we're into healthy living, no? Yung gagamitin natin more to cope or to protect ourselves as we go along. For emergency, as I said, use, although may mga alternative na pang-emergency, no? But you have to be aware about these things. Kasi, ang healthcare system ng Amerika is the most expensive healthcare system in the world. Eh sa Pilipinas, yung ordinaryong tao cannot afford that healthcare system. They have insurance we don't have. So how can we try to follow the same program that the American group are doing? Hindi natin kaya. So maybe we should use the model sa China, sa dami nila. The doctors there in China, in med school, they start 2 years, 3 years, barefoot doctors tawag sa kanila. No? By the time they finish medicine, they're given an area and they are supposed to keep people healthy there. No? Pag nagkasakit, meron silang penalty. Their job is to keep people healthy, not to be happy when people get sick. Di ba? Ang galing nung ganung concept. Pag namatay, in ancient times nga, pag namatay ng ng doktor ng pasyente, maglalagay siya ng lantern sa labas ng bahay niya. So, mas maraming lantern, mas alam ng mga pasyente na huwag na pupunta doon. Marami siya napatay. Ngayon, hindi eh. No? You go to an oncologist, ang dami nang napatay noon. No? Pero tinan mo, bigay pa rin ang silang ibigay ng chemotherapy, and the patient just keeps dying left and right. And alam naman nila, if the patient is not going to survive with the normal medical treatments. No? So, for prevention and healing of lifestyle disease, longevity, strength, nutrition, natural healing is best. But for acute and emergency care, Western medicine has no peer. Kailangan natin yun eh. Yun lang, magastos. No? So, para hindi ka na mapunta doon, siguro, iwasan mo na lang. Prevent. Mas mura yung prevention kaysa sa cure. No? Mas gentler pa. So, medicine is both an art and a science. Itinitailor mo yan in a specific, personalized way. Sa medicine, ito yung sakit mo ito. E paano kung hindi yang sa kanya? Paano kung may side effects siya? Paano kung mahina ang kidney o liver? So in alternative medicine, in natural healing, we try to tailor. Some patient, you may want to give so many things. Some patient, yung faith lang yan. Just give them simple things. They can already get results. I-assess mo yung pasyente. When you say it's an art, well, di ba yung art? Personalized talaga, no? Yung science, yeah, okay, this thing can help with the heart, the liver, the kidney. But yung art says, no, this person may not be able to take it, so I have to be gentle. Or maybe yung budget niya. So, kailangan hanap ka ng paraan to motivate the patient. Yun ang work natin as educators, to motivate people na whether may pambili sila ng gamot o hindi, maturuan mo as educators. No? The reaction is different from each other. Each person is unique. Kaya ipipersonalize mo. And then, of course, whether you use medical or natural, you need to have true compassion. Sabi nga nung isang favorite movie character ko, no? I don't know if you know him, no? If you treat the disease, you win some, you lose some. If you treat the patient, you always win. That's from the movie Patch Adams. Huh? Yung sabi niya, unfortunately, na-depress siya yun. Baka nag-ano siya, no? So if you treat the disease, you win some, you lose some. But if you treat the patient, you always win. Whether mamatay yung pasyente niyo, you always win. The family knows you've done your best. They know that you care. Okay, so then you feel na ginawa mo yung best mo para sa Panginoon. No? So, Thomas Pies says, all disease are caused by chemicals or chemicals the body need. If we only knew, it can be taken through food. So, all disease can be treated and prevented through proper nutrition. Sabi po ng isang inspiration writer, by the use of poisonous drugs, many bring upon themselves lifelong illness. Many lives are lost that might have been saved by natural methods. We let physicians and us, no? Teach the people that restorative power is not in drugs but in nature. Well, actually, in God, no? Through the things of nature. So ito po yung sinabi ng Voltaire. Doctors are men who prescribe medicines of which they know little, kasi sinabi lang ng Medrep, no? To cure disease of which they know less, kasi hindi man alam how to maintain a healthy person, no? In human beings of whom they know nothing, kasi hindi nga inaalam yung pangalan mo, titignan lang yung chart, no? O nagmamadali. Hindi nga pinuntahan ka man lang, eh, no? Okay. Nagmamadali din po kami minsan kasi maraming pasyente, pero dapat, mas matagal kami talaga. Okay. So, yun po yung ating pinag-aralan natin. Question? Sakit.
Kasi baka yung ano po, nung nakakapal po ako sa dentist, bigyan po ako ng Losartan. Tapos sabi ko sa doktor, Dok, hanggang kailan po ako mag-inom ng Losartan? Sabi, forever. Natakot po ako, hindi na po ako bumalik.
Okay. Alam mo ba yung kalang gagamutin sana ng Losartan?
Kasi po, nung nag-ano po ako change po ako ng diet.
Naggumanda, normal. See, napakasimple lang eh.
Kumago na po yung blood pressure.
You move your meal before 6 p.m., sleep early, your sugar, your cholesterol, your uric acid, your blood pressure will start going to normal. Simple lang yun. Maybe yung meat nyo, siguro once a week or every other week, okay na yun. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, no? Merienda, siguro, paminsan-minsan, pero try to have just 3 meals a day and that will maintain things. Have some sort of regular exercise. Kung hindi ka makapag-exercise, pumasage ka lagi, no? Sarap kaya, no? So, yung exercise mo. Simple lang po ang requirement ng katawan natin. Ang karamdaman po, disease comes when there's too much of something. Some of them may be good, but too much naman. Rest, too much rest. Too much stress, too much so many things. Simple lang po ang requirement ng katawan natin. Kaya lang, pag nag-breakdown na, you may need to do something. Let's not wait for that breakdown. Kaya tayo nagmi-meeting na ganito para may idea tayo what to do. Oh, we're not giving this to you na para lang, ay, ganun pala yun. You do something with your life. And your job, now that you know, is to share it with others. Kasi we are reformers, di ba? Dapat i-reform natin yung mga tao sa paligid natin. We should make a difference in people's lives. Masarap ng feeling yung pasyente, instead of taking a medication, you just taught him some basic things, no? Tapos pabalik sa'yo, oh Mari, okay na yung BP ko, ganyan. Nakakatuwa yun, no? So, meron pa po? Sige po, doktora.
I have a list here of medicines. Since I started, kasi my son has this HMO.
Yes. Of course, they libre naman, no?
And then sabi niya, so I started going to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Ito na, ang dami na.
Well, some of them probably are, okay. Yung iba sa cholesterol, yung collagen, okay po, no? Pero iba sa cholesterol, yung, sa blood pressure yung iba, no?
Triglyceride na.
Celebrex, are you having pain, no?
I don't take that.
Okay. Okay. So what I do is I look for alternative of this. Kasi the nice thing is we have the internet. All you have to do is study, anong side effect nito? Makikita nyo po, liwa-liwanag. It's just a fingertip away, no? Then, usually there are alternative things in the internet that will tell you, oh, what can you use instead of this? What can you use for this? What can you use for this? Cholesterol, change the diet, kuha na yun eh, no? So, may mga things po naman yun. But you may want to check the internet. The HMO the pharmaceutical company are making a lot of money from the HMO, no? So, sige, okay lang, bigay ng bigay. You know yung mga nursing homes sa States? The patients are zombies. Ako, talaga. Kung ganun lang sila, tulala, no? And when you change them, remove the medicine and start giving them a healthy lifestyle, makita mo, nag-clear yung utak nila. They're walking around normally. So they are now, mas matagal lang mapahaba ang buhay na then the nursing home makes money. No? So it has to be changed. And tayo na nag-aaral-aral nito, we should be in the forefront of this. You will be surprised. God will bring you people that you can counsel or you can share this. And I'm not vehemently against medication kasi kailangan hospital po eh. Pero I'm against the taking of the drugs forever and not teaching patients what they should be able to do. Yung system, that's what we dislike about it. Okay, meron po, sir?
Doc, Arcoxia and Catapres.
Opo, Arcoxia is going to really harm your stomach, no? And then yung Catapres po, well, nung araw po kasi, calcium black at adlat, lalagay sa dila, bababa ang presyon. And then they found out it can cause heart problem, heart attack. Probably Catapres may have some reaction there. Nasa internet po. So what do you do in lieu of, instead of that? Then, the lifestyle, blood pressure lang po yun, diet lang po yun, konti exercise, stress reduction. And then, kung mataas ang cholesterol, pababain siya. Kung mataas talaga, there are herbs that we give na pangpalit po sa blood pressure medications. That does not have the side effect of the drug na usually tinitake ng pasyente. Naghahanap po kami ng ibang alternative. Okay? Meron pa po?
May tanong na po, paano yung mga cases ng type 1 diabetes person na dependent sila sa injection?
Kami, ang ginagawa po namin ganito kasi na-damage po yung pancreas ng bata. Kaya na hindi na sila nagpupulos ng insulin. So mag-insulin na siya forever, no? Pero may mga danger yun. Minsan bumabagsak ang sugar niya, nagko-collapse yung pasyente. So sa amin, we try to rehabilitate the pancreas. And we give stem cell, pancreatic extract, binibigay namin yun. From cow, sheep, or goat. May tablet noon, may injectable noon, may oral, may under the tongue. Unti-unti mong gigisingin yung... Kasi dalawang trabaho ng pancreas, digestion and production of insulin. Halimbawa, i-blend mo yung pagkain para makapahinga mo na yung digestion. Tapos magbigay ka ng something to stimulate the pancreas to regenerate. So instead of giving external insulin, rehabilitate the pancreas so it will produce its own insulin. So, mas siya, di ba? Mas practical siya.
Meron po na sa Pilipinas.
Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it. Sige.
Doc, meron over-the-counter nun yung replacement for insulin.
Over the counter. We have there's a company in Cubao that has a a special capsule thing na may pancreatic extract from black sheep sa Switzerland, no? Meron ganun capsule kasi mas stable yon. Meron naman din nakukuha na extract na either injectable na frozen from Switzerland. I think it costs mga 3-5 kung hindi ako nagkakamali. It's given 2 to 3 times a week hanggang mag-regenerate yung pancreas ng patient. So, may mga ganung bagay. Yeah. Isn't alternative medicine fun, di ba? Yes, ma'am.
So, Doc, just reviewing for the ordinary people, it's the best to take alternative medicine as our first option, not the traditional.
Opo, kasi actually yung traditional yung alternative medicine, yung natural Ang yun talagang traditional Kaya when you go to the Department of Health, traditional treatment means yung natural. Ito yung bago, yung medical. Pero just because it's bago doesn't mean it's really everything is perfect. Kasi after a while, yung gamot na ininom mo, i-withdraw na sa market I-ano na sa market, oh, maganda to, ganito. After a while, yun mo nawala na. Or, ban na sa ibang bansa, dito naman tinatambak sa Pilipinas. No? Yan, walang pumapalag dito tatambak sa atin. Oh. So, that's the sad thing. O kaya gagamitin pang medical actress dito. Wawa naman ang Pilipino, no? Sige.
Doc, medyo out of the topic to, pero it's very, di ba hindi naman talaga dati nagpa-vaccine ng tao. Pero bakit ngayon, grabe na makapag-force?
Nagagawa nga sila ng sakit para mag-vaccine sila So, imagine mo, swine, yung sakit ng baboy, it should not affect the human beings. Bird flu, swine flu, these are genetically modified. You don't get something from a bird to another mammal. Imagine you, who makes those kind of things, no? Yung pag kinakain natin, mga GMO, genetically modified organism So during the bird flu thing, no? The United States was scaring people left and right. Sabi na, every vaccination you begin, biglang dumating ang ondoy. Tinamaan. Di dapat nung time na yun, bagsak na bagsak ang immune system natin, dapat tinamaan tayo lahat ng bird flu, di ba? Ang nagpupush during that time was the Department of Defense in the United States. Because the Secretary of Defense owns the patent for the bird flu vaccine. Yan, check nyo po sa internet. That's evil. Siya lang yung may hawak ng patent ng vaccine dun sa bird flu. Wala naman nangyari kasi nung dumating unti, wala naman tinamaan ng bird flu sa Pilipinas. Can you imagine that, diba? So alam mo, yung pneumonia vaccination, ang daming uri ng bacteria that causes pneumonia. So let's say I made a vaccine for that particular strain. Within a couple of months, nag-mutate yung strain na yun It's not the same strain as now. So instead, and even if I give you vaccine, if your immune system is weak, it's not gonna work. Diba? And look at yung mga MMR, yung mga vaccine na tinatamaan pa rin ng BK, tinatamaan pa rin ng tigdas, meron silang bakuna. Or yung BCG, meron ka pa rin primary complex pag tinamaan ka. Question, di ba? Binigyan ka ng protection sa TB, bakit tinatamaan tayo? Lahat naman tayo may BCG. It's the immune system that is the culprit. Sige po, ma'am.
Bakit, Doc, we have to eat dinner before 6?
Kasi po, ang digestion natin is not as good the further we go sa gabi. Ang enzymes po natin, napuproduce ng bituka natin from 5 a.m., nagpipik siya ng 12 noon, mga 5 to 6, umihina na po yung enzymes natin. Ngayon, nasanay lang tayong kumakain ng past 6. Pero actually, your digestive power is not very weak at that level. Kaya may kasabihan po nung araw, kumain ng parang hari sa umaga, kumain ng parang reyna sa tanghali, kumain ng pulubi sa gabi. Yung pulubi nga, hindi kumakain, di ba? Kaya ganun po yan. Plus, matutulog ka na sa gabi. So if you were to eat a heavy meal at night, tapos ihiga ka, nahirapan yung bituka natin mag-digest ng pagkain. Nakatawaan lang na kumain sa gabi ng parang hari, pero mali po yun. No? Kung yung pasyente ay babaguhin yung pagkain niya sa hapunan, yung mga sakit lang high blood, cholesterol, at iba pa, magbabago po. Yan. Magutom ka ng after 6, pwede ka mag-take ng soup or juice or something na tunaw na para madaling ma-facilitate, ma-assimilate. No? Yes, ma'am.
Mas proper na yung pagkain sa before.
Opo, inuuna po natin yung fruits kasi mas madaling ma-digest siya. Kasi kung ihuli nyo siya, matagal siyang kakain ka ng rice, tapos kakain ka ng fruits. And fruits, dito pa lang tunaw na eh. Tinutunan pa ng bituka mo yung rice, tunaw na yung kinain mo. Nag-ferment po yun, naging acidic siya. So better eat it before the meal. Even with diabetics, we allow, no?
Curious lang po ako kasi yung brother ko before he died, nung dinala po namin siya sa hospital, ang BP niya is 250 over 160.
Opo.
So, binigyan ko siya ng catapress every 30 minutes 3 times. And then may in-inject pa sa kanya eh. So, I don't know kung ano yung
Mag-ihi
gamot
siguro
yun.
po. Ano naman.
Tapos yun na po siya na-stroke yung time na yun. So, ang apektado po sa kanya yung kanyang throat. So, hindi po siya makalunok.
Mhm.
So, tapos na ano kasi na sister ko na pag mataas daw ang BP, hindi daw dapat piliting ibaba.
Minsan kasi po yung drugs, ang trabaho lang niya magpababa. Pwedeng biglang bagsak, nag-shock yung pasyente. Kasi tatlo yung sunod-sunod eh. So, yung bigyan mo isa, maghintay ka ng ilang ano, pero nag-panic siguro sila dahil sobrang taas. Eh, kaysa pumutok yung ugat, pababain nila. Kasi mag-cope na lang sila kung sobrang baba naman. Kung magpupunta po kayo ng ICU, meron 2 gamot na nakalagay dun sa swero kalimitan. Yung isa, pampataas ng presyon. Pag sumobra naman, papababa naman. Nakakabit pareho. No? So, from time to time, tinitimpla-timpla nung nurse. Opo.
Parang nag-give up siya eh. Nakatay siya, nakita na lang namin siya.
There's a doctor named Dr. Minier, and he's in charge of health and safety sa mga hospital sa US. Meron siyang libro, sinulat niya, Confessions of a Medical Heretic. No? Sabi niya doon, and he's in charge of health and safety. Sabi niya doon, the hospital is the most dangerous place to be. Diba, did I tell you about yung patient na may fluid sa lungs? No? Naikwento ko na yun, diba? Okay. I will not say the hospital, no? Kasi we are taught na pag may problema, may nagkamali kami ng diagnosis, dapat may defend namin. Now, usually, mag-duty kami, atong-nanto, ibibigay namin yung isang pasyente, kailangan may-defend namin habang para kaming nire-revalida o inaano ng kino-cross-examine ng mga residente or specialist. So, one time, there's a surgeon na consultant sa isang government hospital, and I will not tell you where, no? Nga madali siya dumating sa hospital kasi may fluid sa lungs yung pasyente, babawasan ng tubig. So, punta siya, mamadali. Sabi ng residente, Dok, ito po yung x-ray. O, sige. Boom! Walang tubig kasi baligtad yung x-ray. So, they hit the wrong lung, no? Sabi ng residente, mali po yung ano. Sa kabila po, baligtad yung x-ray. Akong bahala. So, tanggal yung kabit sa akin. Boom! Sabi ng patient, Dok, ba't naman po 2 butas yung ginawa niyo sa akin? Itong sagot niya, kasi kailangan magaling kang magsalita. Sabi niya, alam mo, ang ating lungs parang lata ng gatas. Oo naman yung pasyente. Ganun po, we are taught to think very fast para pwede kang maggawa ng alibay o ganyan. Ganun po, parang tinitrain kami as lawyers. Liars, no? Ganun po ang ginagawa. So, naman, nagtanong ka, katulad ng isang doktor, tinanong siya about acupuncture. Wala siyang alam sa acupuncture. Sabi niya, hindi maganda yan. Kasi pag tinusok mo yan, matutuyo yan. Hindi ko ma-imagine paano matutuyo yung pasyente with acupuncture. He doesn't know anything about it. No? So, lalo na sa nutrition. Dok, ano pong magandang gamot sa kapag pagkain sa ganito? Forget it. Unless he's reading. No? He doesn't know what he's going to tell you. So, that's the sad thing. No? So, we're sharing this with you kasi at least you'll have more input and knowledge than the ordinary doctor. I hope it changes. No? Kasi ngayon, even may mga school ngayon na mga alternative school, naturopathy na sa Pilipinas. So it's changing naman. I hope we do change. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it advisable if you have really high blood pressure, to prick the ear or to prick
Yes, well, there are acupuncture point, like sa ilang dila, may ugat po dyan. Tusukin nyo, bababa ng konti. Or you prick your finger, yung end of finger. So there somehow may reaction that when you do that, a drop or 2 of blood will come out and the blood pressure can go down. Or you can massage this pulse here. It can help lower the blood pressure. Not both, ha? Isa lang. No? Pag dalawa,
Left or right.
Okay. Or,
Left or right?
sa likod ng tenga po, you have this crease, no? You can press on that. That's an acupuncture point for lowering blood pressure.
How about pricking the ear?
You can prick the ear, pero usually ang ina-advise na is pricking yung blood vessel under the tongue. Isa, dalawa. Nakakaba siya. O simple lang yun, di ba? Better na dito magdugo kasi doon pumutok, no? So, simple acupressure points. Okay, so... sige po.
I would like to share a little experience. Last Saturday, a patient, the doctor extracted fluid from the lung. But I was wondering why she was shouting all the time, "Masakit, masakit!" And then I was there because we were in the Lingam. Then the head of the Lingam says, "Rescue." Ko, bigyan ko na lang massage to. So, nakita ko, nag-inflame kong left hand niya. And then, in the left foot niya. So, ginawa ko, I did a little
Massage.
acupressure.
Yes.
Then, nag-subside siya because pag hawak mo gano'n ng kamay niya, nagbalon siya nga matigas na pag gano'n, hindi mo mabinat ang buwan niya, yung bali niya. After I massaged his head, nag-subside. Na ngayon, nakita mo na, nagkaroon ng balat niya.
Yes.
Sabi niya, wala na, sakit, sabi ng pasyente. Sabi yung paa mo, masakit pa. Kung nakita ko na-inflame, so in-massage ko na naman. Massage ko, after 10 minutes, nag-subside lahat. Kumusta na? Pag-inawa na ako. Pero mamaya nagsigaw na naman. Masakit na daw dito niya. Sabi ko, yun, you have to need a patient. Kailangan mo na doktoryan.
Kasi, there may be, kung may fluid siya sa bagay niya, hindi nagsisirculate na maganda, yung massage, you can help with circulation. And then there are acupuncture point to strengthen the lungs, the heart, the liver. So meron naman po nun. Pero these people are usually other medications, medyo nababago po yung timpla ng system na babalik-ulit. What we would do, you can do massage, you can do acupuncture, electrical stimulation para medyo matagal-tagal yung effect.
Because in my little learning of reflexology, I studied the nerve endings in the palm and sa legs. If there is a connection sa lungs, sa palm, sa paa. So yun ang tinira ko, no? But sometimes I was on the point of guessing. Sabi ko, kung saan yung sumasakit,
doon mo i-massage po. Yun po yung tinawag na reflex point. Parang sinasabi ng katawan mo, dito, no? That's again one thing that I like about natural healing. You can use your hands to heal. Sabi ng Bible, they shall lay their hands upon the sick and they shall recover. May konting effort nga lang, no? So find the points and you can get results. There have been patients in severe pain. If you know the points, pwedeng mag-react agad. And that's the part I like about Chinese medicine. What I don't like about Chinese medicine is yung diet nila, no? Pero yung mga reflex point, mga acupressure point, really nice, really effective. Okay.
Kasi panongin, what's the best treatment for colds? Also for children?
Well, you can make kung may colds na po, you can make a concoction, get honey and maybe get maybe some onion or onion juice there, no? So yung pong onion is going to make the sipon come out, no? Yung kulitik, labas talaga siya. Tapos po, yung honey is natural antibiotic, no? Then you can put maybe a small piece of garlic as your natural antibiotic also. So masarap naman po yun hindi naman siya bad. Of course, you can buy Paypaqua or Lang Tonic, may mga ganun pong...
Sa bata?
Yun po, pwede sa bata po yung sinabi ko. Okay, may God bless us all. Sana po may natutunan ko.